the Tucker stuff regarding the Red Sox, they traded Devers. And Devers became the highest paid player in Boston Red Sox history.
Was his contract in excess of $300 million?
Yes, it was. It was. And he was a homegrown kid that I believe they acquired at a very, very young age, 16 or 17, 18 years old, somewhere in there. And he's been on that Red Sox team. He's the last player left from their 18 World Series champion team and was a building block that they liked. Now, there were hiccups there with the Bregman deal. He was their third baseman. They got Bregman. They then, after they told him when he signed the deal, I believe the story goes, one of the rationales he wanted an assurance of, if he would commit to that long of a deal, he wanted an assurance that he would be their third baseman. And 1 year after he signs the deal, they go out and they get Bregman. And then finally he conforms to being their DH. And then they ask him to play first. So he's belly aching about that. He hit a home run in yesterday's game against the Yankees in a game that they swept the Yankees. They've won 5 straight games. And the next thing you know, he's being shipped out to the Giants. Tom Ricketts has always looked up to Red Sox ownership. He has modeled, him and Crane Kenny have modeled the Cubs game after the Red Sox game. They were the first team to break the barrier in 04, followed by the White Sox. Cubs could have had their chance in 03. They rebuilt Fenway. What'd the Cubs do? They went, got a tour of Fenway Park. How can we rebuild Wrigley just like Fenway? Oh, we need a front office guy. Okay, we'll go to the Red Sox and we'll go get Theo. He'll bring over Jed from San Diego, who used to work for the Red Sox. In every aspect, he has modeled his game after John Henry, the Red Sox owner. Red Sox fans right now, not just with Devers, but they traded Betts. They got rid of Bogarts, who was a homegrown kid. They don't spend as much as they used to spend. Owners are very down on this. Owner who has won, how many World Series has he won since owning the team? Is it 3 now, Tyler?
I believe it's 3.
3 World Series championships. The Cubs only have 1. And he is now doing, and he's not loved there. He's not beloved. My wonder to you is, and I heard Carmen and Yurko bring this up, are the Cubs doing the same stuff as the Red Sox? And is this a warning sign for Cubs fans that this, or at least until there's a new collective bargaining agreement coming up, they just won't spend? Now, they did spend on Devers, but they quickly then got rid of his salary. And a lot of people think that there was a little bit of a, wanting the money back. And
how much did they give Bregman? That deal was
$120, was it?
Was it?
It was $40 million a year. I think, 3 for $120.
I mean, I get the connection so much so that in 2023 I was looking up payrolls. The Cubs are 12th, the Red Sox are 13th, and there's only $3 million to
They mirror each other. They really do. Like
really,
Ricketts, that is the guy that Ricketts looks up to as an owner. And he does business differently today than he did when they were winning World Series.
So your hope is that the Cubs are not going to follow suit and divest themselves and
Tucker,
not truly go for it.
Right. Or want to spend on Tucker. Like they were fine with trading Mookie Betts. They traded Mookie Betts. And that it's my worry with Ricketts and not wanting to spend like the Red Sox are no longer spending.
What I would be somewhat, I don't know if concern is the right word, but something that would be on my radar with regard to this is that the Boston Red Sox have now cleared space to get into the Justin Tucker sweepstakes in the offseason as a free agent.
Yeah, that's the first time I think you've ever done it. I've been the one guilty of doing that all the time.
Justin Tucker.
I'm telling you, it makes it harder, too, that not only was there a Justin Tucker in sports.
But he was in the news?
Well, no, but then, and of course he was in the news with the massage stuff, and he doesn't have a team anymore. The Ravens got rid of him. But the Cubs now have Justin Turner.
Yeah.
So they have like 2 new guys, Kyle Tucker and Justin Turner.
So, let me restate that. So now it looks like the Boston Red Sox, if they're not trying to just cut back their payroll, maybe they do get into the Kyle Tucker free agency sweepstakes. So
them, the Yankees, the Dodgers, and who the hell, the Mets. Who knows? Phillies.
It just adds another team. Like, you wouldn't think Boston, especially as you've described them, would be in the market for a $500 million player this offseason. Well, they just subtracted a good portion of his $300 million plus contract from their books. So I don't know. Are the Boston Red Sox trying to pare things back?
Did you just call them the Red Sox?
I could have, yeah. Or are they actually trying to create space for someone like Tucker? And then I would think that Red Sox fans would be they'd be thrilled.
That was
with
very good. Very good. Yeah, all that, and that's the only part where I agree with Cap on the, attack this now. I like where I disagree with Cap is that he should be happy with the number because.
I agree with Cap too that they should be trying to negotiate with him now. I'm just not in the camp that thinks that it's just a given or it should be expected that Tucker is going to forego free agency and sign early.
That's why I am doing it, whether it's at the All-Star break, whether it's after the trade deadline. You go in there, you meet, the owner calls you up into his office, or you meet, whatever. And even just one-on-one, and then get the agents involved. Hey, Kyle, what's your number to take you out of free agency? To take you out of the bidding war with the Yankees. And there may not be a number. Some guys are driven by it. I've never had a free agency. I just got traded. This is my first year here. I love it here. I can always come back here. But I'd like to find out what the market's willing to offer me. Or he could say, look, I'm happy making $45 million a year. That's what I need to hear. I need to hear $45 million over 12 years. And that's my price. And that will take me out of listening to any other offer.
Looks like there's almost a $40 million difference between the Cubs and Red Sox payroll this year. But
they also paid Crochet.
Yeah. So
that's right.
I think I would be more concerned, not that Tom Ricketts is going to try to mimic what the Red Sox are doing. It would be that the Red Sox just created some space to get into the Tucker market. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that lefty hitting that park?
Oh, I can. Yeah, with that short porch there, and by the right field foul pole.
Yes. So that's what would be.
It's really deep in the alley there, isn't it? Isn't it tough? Right center is very tough.
Yeah, it's one of the worst alleys, but down the line it is
like 310?
One of, if not the shortest. Yeah, it's like them or Yankee Stadium.
Is that Pesky's pole right there? All right, 312-332-3776. If you want to talk Cubs from over the weekend, anything on your mind that you checked out, whether it's big picture stuff on Tucker, whether it's smaller picture stuff, our conversation again from Friday's game where PCA did not come up late in the game because of where he hits. He did hit up in the order yesterday, but it was because... What number was he hitting? 2?
He was second.
Yeah, and so Happ ended the game. Happ came through this time, and I know a lot. I like Ian Happ, too. I do. And I know I got in the car to go to youth baseball. I heard Tyler and Shay talk about it. And I did bring up batting him leadoff. But my theory has always been that I want PCA every day in the top 3. And I agreed, Tyler, with our conversation when we had it on Friday, that I like Tucker PCA 1-2. You talked me into that one. I think that's very sound. I know Shay didn't love going lefty there. But to me, my greater concern is getting your best players the most at bats.
Yeah, I heard Jesse this morning pushing back on it a little bit, too, saying the lefty stuff, they'll just come out with an opener. Well, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Come out with an opener, burn a lefty reliever in the first inning. And B, Kyle Tucker's splits against lefties and righties are pretty much the same. Yeah. So it doesn't really – he is not someone who is impacted by having a lefty out there on the mound.
Yeah. So Cubs conversation here early. We've got some stuff from Matt Eberflus where he went on a podcast talking about Caleb Williams. He's got some nerve, Matt Eberflus, some nerve. I'll share that with you. Should the Bulls be interested in John Morant? And I can't figure out how Desmond Bain gets how many unprotected first-round picks?
I think it was 4, right? And then a 1 first-round pick swap on top of that.
And the Bulls got their own pick for Zach LaVine. They've still not gotten 1 first-round pick for Lauri Markkanen. Like, they somehow trade players who are a part of their core, and they get 0 for them. But the Memphis Grizzlies trades Desmond, and they get 4 unprotected picks. Why can't the Bulls get picks for anybody?
Because they're busy signing their coach to an extension.
We'll get into that stuff. There's a lot to discuss today. 312-332-3776. The state of the sports media as well, with the one guy saying today that there's a player who has been overrated or underperforming, I should say. We'll get into all of that. It's Waddle and Silvy.